Hello everybody, welcome to the vlog. My hair is looking kind of weird, but I just wanted to say hello. I want to jump on. I'm getting ready to go over to the church and film the announcement video for the weekend, Manny and I. So we are just kind of hanging out. I have just a few minutes before I have to go over there. I also really need to film my pregnancy update for, it's the end of the first trimester. I'm out of the first trimester now, have been for a little while, but I just wanted to film that ending because I do like 4 weeks at a time. So I just kind of wanted to film that very soon. That way I can get that one up because it's kind of like the, I don't know, the end of that trimester. Obviously people are probably curious if they watch the other ones about what the rest of it was like. And yeah, not like crazy eventful other than super fun, really exciting. But I never had like a ton of, you know, wild symptoms. I never got sick, which people like, it's like people don't believe that when I say that. They think I'm exaggerating it, but it's the truth. So I'm going to kind of film a video about that. But yeah, Sunday, if you follow me on Instagram, Manny took a couple pictures of me. I was wearing an outfit that I was intentionally trying to show the baby bump that I have. I'll be 15 weeks tomorrow. So I was trying to show I had like a little dress on. I've always wanted to wear like this kind of outfit during pregnancy. Like whenever I've dreamed of pregnancy, I had a dress, like a little bit of a tighter, not like skin tight, but a tighter, like a straight fitting dress, with a t-shirt tied up like right over the bump. And so that kind of like accentuates it a little bit. I really like that. I put it on Instagram and you're definitely able to notice a lot more of a visible bump now. I think other people are able to notice it. I've been noticing a change since I would say about 12 weeks as far as a change, but not like where anybody could really tell. Even at that point, Manny couldn't really tell. But then I think about 13 weeks, it got harder. And that's when Manny started to be able to notice a little bit more. And then now I'll be 15 weeks tomorrow and it's like other people are noticing it. Like people that know that I'm pregnant. I mean, I've not been asked by anybody that I don't know. And I can still hide it. I mean, I'm not that big. It's just like if I'm wanting to show it, you can see it, which is really exciting. I've had a lot of fun with that. I know obviously it's very quickly, it's growing fast. I can tell a difference every day. Right now I'm still in the stage where the morning it's smaller, which it may always be. It's just I feel like when you get really big, you can't really tell if it's smaller or bigger. It's just like kind of big all the time. But in the morning it is definitely smaller, and then through the day it gets bigger. And it's not just food. I actually even Googled it and they were saying that like your muscles basically get tired throughout the day from your stomach. And so it's kind of like they let loose a little bit more. But yeah, my mom said that it looks like I'm carrying a little bit higher, which also they said is really all kind of dependent. I know they say like that determines a gender, but I don't believe that. It's kind of like dependent on your muscles. And so I think a lot of the time with first pregnancies, sometimes they're higher, probably not always, but just because of like ab muscles haven't been stretched before, you know, aren't like really super stretched or torn or anything. So yeah, I feel really good. I've kind of been trying to work on, we have a 2-bedroom house, and I went back and forth for a while on, which I know it's going to sound crazy to some people, and then some people would probably agree, you know, would have done this. Kind of went back and forth on not having a baby room at first, and everybody was like asking me what the baby room's going to look like. And that was really difficult for me, to be honest, because I want to have a baby room. If you know me or you know our journey, like we worked really hard for this. And so I want all of the things, you know, I want the baby to have a room, and obviously like the baby's going to have stuff. So, you know, I don't plan on having the baby sleep in the room, at least for a while. I want to do like a co-sleeper that attaches to the bed and have the baby in the room with us. I just feel like it makes the most sense for me. I know if I put a baby in a crib, I'm not going to leave the baby in the crib. I'm going to be either in the room with the baby, staring at the baby, or have the baby in my room. I know myself. So it's just really for me, I don't think it would be smart for me to try to have the baby sleep in the room all the time. At least when they're really small. And then we'll kind of see where it goes from there. But, so yeah, I thought about not having a baby room, but that doesn't make any sense. The reason is just because our house is small and we have like no space to really do anything. And we don't even have a lot of things that are unnecessary. There are actually things in our house that we use, like I have a keyboard in the baby room. And I don't just play keyboard for fun. I need a keyboard. And so, you know what I mean? Because I'm a worship leader and I obviously have to pull sets throughout the week. I work from home a lot. So I actually need that keyboard at home. But it's just like, it's in the way. And so we have things like that we genuinely have to use, but there's really nowhere to put it. And the way that our house is laid out, there's not really any storage areas. There's not like, someplace you could put stuff that you weren't, like Christmas decor, for example. There's like an attic or any place like that you can put it. And so we have to put it in the closet that is the baby's closet. And obviously, like, I don't want to get rid of the Christmas decorations, but like, you know what I mean? So it's things like that we do use, that we don't have a ton of space. And obviously the baby comes before all of that, but when you live in a small house, or, I know a lot of you, I used to live in an apartment. I know that would be much more difficult. So it's just really hard to figure out. So Manny and I have decided that we are going, another thing about the room, let me say this, it was also the guest room. And so we have a bed in there. You guys see it all the time in vlogs. That is like taking up the whole room. It's up against the wall, but it's just it's an eyesore. It's a big deal. It's always in the way. It doesn't look good. And so we kept it there for like when my parents come to visit, when my, Manny's side of the family comes to visit. Which, they haven't come to visit yet. My parents have come to visit one time this year. And so it's like, and it's nobody's fault. It's just Manny's, last year. They've not come this year. Obviously it's January, but they came one time in 2020, which a lot of that was because of coronavirus. But, they came in March when coronavirus started, or when we knew about it. It started before that, I'm quite sure. But when everybody knew about it. And so, then they didn't ever come back. And so I've left a bed in there for, a group of people that come once a year. Manny's family is not able to come very often, his side, because they're obviously in England. We can't go there very often either. So it just doesn't really make sense to have a bed in there for that. I'd rather have a crib and a baby, set up in there. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'll take you along on that. Because I know once we get it figured out and get things in place, it'll be fine. And I know people work with smaller spaces than this. I know people have one bedroom houses and have kids. So I'm not saying this is like the worst scenario. It's just, it was a hard decision to try to make, because I know I'm not going to have the baby sleep in there in the beginning. So I thought, well, the baby doesn't really need a room, and I've seen people do that with their kids, that they don't have them sleep in a room. So there's no point in taking up a room until they're older. But I feel like there is a point, because we also don't really have a place to put anything anywhere else in the house. So the baby's stuff is just going to be packed, on the ground, basically, if we don't have a room with a dresser and that kind of thing. He or she already has clothes in my closet. That's like, the baby's not even here yet. So I need, a little closet for the baby. I need, and I know once we find out gender, which is going to be in a couple weeks, that the baby's gonna have more stuff. And I would like to have a decorated room. Like, I just have this vision in my mind, but I just don't know how it's gonna work. So I'm trying to get that figured out. I know it's gonna be fine, and we'll get it figured out. It's just, we're gonna sell the bed that nobody really uses. We're gonna get rid of that. When family comes, they'll probably take my room and Manny's room, and we'll sleep somewhere else, because when they come, they don't stay very long anyway. So it just doesn't really, I feel like a guest room, I definitely want a guest room. When we buy a house, I would like to have a guest room. That's definitely like the goal, but I feel like that's most people's goal, and it's not like a top priority, if that makes sense. Obviously, I want the kids to have a room first, and if we were getting an older kid, I obviously would never not have them have a room, but I just thought a baby didn't necessarily have to have one. Anyway. Yeah, like if we were adopting a kid and it was like an older kid, I wouldn't say, well, the kid doesn't need a room, I'm going to put my random bed in there. Like, well, we're not going to give birth to an older kid, obviously, but if we were fostering kids, and they would have to have a room or something like that. But yeah, it's just going to be real chatty, because I've been having a lot of things in my mind today. But we were on a path to buy a house, and that's the goal, is that we would like to buy a house. I don't want to rent another house, because renting aggravates me, to be honest. I feel like there's no point. This house is rented. This house comes out of our salary from the church, and it is a rental. But it's like, I don't want to go move somewhere, because if I move to a bigger house, which I would need to, the rent would be more. So you're paying a lot of money, essentially, even though we live in a small area and whatever, rent is not cheap. You're paying a lot of money for a decent sized place, and then you don't get anything out of that. You know what I mean? Like when we move, that money's just gone. You can't really invest into the house. You can't really do anything like that because it's not yours. So I don't want to rent again, like ever in my life. I have no desire to rent if I don't have to. So we were on the path to buy a house, but if you know, we did IVF, and so IVF is really expensive, and we're gonna film a video all about finances and stuff like that with IVF, because honestly, we used an entire savings account to do IVF, and I always am real about that kind of stuff because I think people need to know and they need to see the reality of what that's like. I would do it again, absolutely, like 100%. It was worth it. Like really, I'm not even making that up. I really believe it is totally worth it, but it is still obviously not everybody's ideal situation, you know. Would have been ideal to not need IVF. So that's the reality of the situation. But we're so grateful for it. If IVF did not exist, we probably would not be where we are. And so we're so grateful, and it's worth every dollar that you have to spend. But it's a really big financial thing. And so that's kind of what's preventing us right now. I think it was just a huge 2020, honestly, was the biggest spending year we've ever had. I've never spent that much money. It was wild in that short amount of time. Thankfully, we had the money. I mean, we didn't go into debt or anything like that for it. So that's like huge. If you've done IVF or you know anybody who has, pretty much everybody does go into debt for it. And so it was really a big deal that we didn't have to. It was such a blessing. But it is still, I was talking to somebody the other day about IVF, and, you know, it's such a blessing and you love it, but it is still, you know, of course, the human side of you, it's frustrating that you have to do it and that you have to pay so much to have a family. But that's the world of infertility, and that's, you know, what we're dealing with. And yeah, the world of infertility in America. It's not so hard other places, but America really, the health system really struggles, and insurance here is, like, honestly, in my experience, pretty much pointless. With infertility, it is pointless. They don't care about that. That's the truth. Like, they don't care about infertility. You're on your own with insurance when it comes to that. They pay nothing. And some do, like, if you get it through a job, some offer, like, I know even Starbucks offers some fertility coverage in certain circumstances, I think. But anyway, it's frustrating. And so that's the situation with the house. We are, you know, blessed to have a house and all of that. And I know, you know, people live in way smaller places. It's just, I want to buy a house. And, you know, that's just a huge goal. So I think it'll happen sooner than I'm expecting. Even getting pregnant happened sooner than I expected. You know what I mean? So I think you always feel way further away from things than you are. But that's kind of where we're at right now. And we're going to start working on a baby room. So we are definitely going to have a little nursery. And I'll have you guys along on that journey and kind of what we're going to do. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So this is today's belly. This is actually a maternity shirt. It's the first one I've ever had. It'll be bigger by tonight too, I'm sure, but this is me sucking in a little. I'm sucking in this top part here. I let it out, it's kind of more like this, but I feel like when I suck in this part, it's kind of like, you know, for sure, it's the belly. So that's what we're working with at almost 15 weeks. It's a 60-degree day today. Crazy. Actually, it's not. It's pretty typical, but oh man. Brought a peanut butter sandwich because I have to have food all the time. Okay, here's my belly at night before bed. Definitely, like, hard too. Face looks crazy because I took my lashes off and everything, and I need to wash my hair. It's just a disaster. So there's that. But I was gonna go to bed and then decided that I needed Spaghettios. So I guess you can call that a pregnancy craving. I have not thought about Spaghettios in a long time, and I had a can in the cabinet. I couldn't find it. Manny got up and helped me find the Spaghettios, and yeah, anyway, so I didn't even eat the whole can of them though. I poured some in a container, but I just had a little bit of that and some cheese before bed. I'm kind of getting my appetite back. I've been eating fine and I haven't been sick or anything this whole pregnancy, but what do I have on my face? I guess just a spot, like a red spot. I, for like the past week, haven't been really that hungry, and I don't know why. I know that kind of fluctuates throughout pregnancy, but you know, I just haven't, I haven't been not hungry. I get hungry obviously when it's time to eat, but I just haven't had like a huge appetite. I haven't been able to eat a lot at a time, which I never really can, but just been trying to eat more because I'll talk about this in the next update, I'm sure, but I didn't gain any weight in the first trimester. The doctor mentioned it. I talked about that in vlogs, and then now I'm in the second trimester, and going into that, still hadn't gained. And when I say not any weight, I mean like literally I had not even fluctuated. Which is weird. I always fluctuated before pregnancy, but I was the same weight. I was 140 when I went to the doctor at the very beginning of pregnancy, and I went to the OB at 8 weeks, so I was 140 then. They didn't weigh me at the IVF clinic. I don't know if they ever weighed me, honestly. They might have in the beginning, you know, so many things happen, but I don't remember that. But I don't know what I weighed exactly then, but I always weighed myself at home, and I was around that same amount. And then weighed 140 at like 8 weeks pregnant. Weighed 140 again at my last appointment, and which was a 12-week appointment. And then I still weighed 140 up until a couple days ago, and I'm almost 15 weeks, which I know is not like a huge deal. The doctor said that I'll obviously put on weight. He said most likely at some point in the second trimester it'll kind of catch up with me. But he mentioned like, do you have an appetite? And I did, and especially like the first trimester, I think my appetite decreased a little when I started the second trimester, but first trimester I ate all the time. I had no problem eating at all. I was not sick, and really my food tasted so much better, still does, like especially if it's something I'm really wanting. It, like those Spaghettios tasted better than they probably ever have. Food is great, so I haven't had any issues with that, but I'm not really putting on a lot of weight today, and yesterday I'm 142, so that's the first time it's fluctuated at all, which I'm not concerned. I know that I'm still, like, I'm only 15 weeks tomorrow, and obviously I have a long way to go, and so I'm sure I'll gain the amount that they want me to gain. I've never had an issue gaining weight before. I'm not underweight or anything like that, so that's another reason it's not super concerning. But, you know, I am a smaller person. I'm not underweight by any means, you know, but just the way I'm built and everything is a little bit smaller, so I don't know. I just always want to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and, you know, first pregnancies are just like, you want to, I'm sure every pregnancy is, but I think especially like your first pregnancy, you want to make sure that you are, you know, healthy and doing everything you can do. So that's kind of where I'm at, but I haven't gained much weight, which I honestly expected to. To be completely honest, I used to. Before I was pregnant, if I would have like a day of like eating, you know, maybe I'd have some cookies and I'd have whatever, it would fluctuate. When I used to have cheat days on Sunday, I weighed more on Monday, you know what I mean? So I just kind of, it always fluctuated, but obviously something with the pregnancy, it's not really fluctuating much. It's just kind of staying the same, but I am eating a good amount, and still working out every day, but not so much that like it's gonna make me lose weight or anything. I'm definitely eating enough to, you know, maintain that. I'm not doing anything that would really make me lose weight anyway. It's honestly kind of, I have to put some effort in to like lose weight, kind of like gaining it. I've always been pretty consistent in my weight anyway, but anyways, I just kind of been doing more like strength training, like for my back and everything is the main goal right now. But I've been doing some cardio because I know obviously I want to be healthy, not weight related, just like I, you know, want to make sure everything's healthy. So anyway, I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. Desperately need to wash my hair, but anyway, I'm having some coffee. Manny stole mine. I got these cups out that say Mr. and Mrs. He literally ran off with my coffee and he made it his way, so I have to have his now because he puts way more stuff in his than I do. Anyway, so it is Thursday morning. I have several things I need to do today. I've had several things I need to do every day, but pregnancy naps are still very necessary for me. I was never like extremely exhausted like some people say. Like I said, I had a super easy first trimester, and it's been an easy second trimester too, but I am like, I just all of a sudden will be like exhausted and need to go to sleep, and then when I wake up I'm okay. That's kind of been how it's been the whole time. Not like all day exhaustion, just like especially if I do something. Like I just said this before, I get way more tired from like simple things. We didn't go to the gym this morning, so usually I actually nap when I come back from the gym. We get back so early that I can like go back to sleep for a little bit before we start our day, which I never used to do that. But again, when I do like simple physical things, and obviously at the gym doing physical things, I get so tired from that. It's just like as if you've been awake for like 5 days. I mean, it's like extreme tiredness, and then like when I wake up I'm fine. And usually it happens in the morning after the gym, and then at night, like around between like 5 and 7, I'm usually like needing another quick nap. So that's kind of how it's been. And I can go without it, especially the nighttime one. That one's not too bad anymore, but I just get really tired if I sit down. So anyway, I've always been a sleeper though, honestly. I've always like, you know, liked a lot of sleep and whatever. I don't have to have it. I do okay without it, but I enjoy sleep. So anyway, I am gonna sit down with Manny for a little while. Even though we didn't go to the gym, we didn't really sleep in too much, so gonna hang out on the couch for a little while. Good morning and happy Friday. I went to the gym this morning and I just woke up from my morning nap. I was very tired. Not been sleeping great at night. I've been pretty uncomfortable sleeping on our bed, so we ordered something that I think is going to come in handy definitely throughout the rest of the pregnancy, but I think it's already going to help because I've been uncomfortable because when you're in your second trimester, I was reading that you're not supposed to sleep on your back, and so I've been really trying not to, and I used to be a stomach and back sleeper. I would sleep on my side for a little while, then my back and my stomach a little bit, and I just always did that. Well, obviously can't really sleep on my stomach anymore. Well, it's not really like huge, but it's just kind of like uncomfortable to do that. I just don't really want to do that. And then not supposed to sleep on my back, and I have scoliosis and stuff like that, so it probably doesn't help. But laying on my side all night has been so uncomfortable. Both of them just like don't work for me. So I think this pregnancy pillow that I ordered is going to help. The man ordered for me. I've been talking about getting one, so I'm going to unbox it. This one is like the U shape where it supports your hips and your stomach and everything, which obviously my stomach is not big enough quite yet to need to be supported while I'm asleep, but obviously it will be, so.
The
coffee maker.
Like that. Oh yeah.
I thought only one came. We also got a pour over coffee maker. I'm excited for that. I didn't know it was coming. I thought it was coming separate. This is the pillow. I think it like puffs up is what it was saying.
Also got international mail.
Yep, we got international mail from one of our friends and his family.
My family?
It's their family.
Oh.
One of Manny's friends, who consider one of my friends now. I've met him several times. He's like one of the nicest people. Him and his family sent us a letter, so we're gonna open that.
Some vacuum bag.
Yeah, it's like vacuum sealed. Oh, it's really going now. Oh, it's nice. Here it is. I think this is gonna be really, really nice. And we got, I didn't know it was coming today. I wonder it didn't get broken or from the way it was just in there. But we got this pour over coffee maker, and I'm really excited about that. This is from Amazon. Obviously it was like on sale for like $17.99 or something. It's not the like the Chemex, obviously it's not the like the name brand one or whatever, but a lot of people in the reviews said they liked this one better. So I'm excited about it. And we ordered a kettle too because we didn't have one, but and still don't because it hasn't come yet. But you need kind of, it's good to have like a little kettle with that too. So we're gonna open our letter too. If you don't know, Manny is from England, so that's why we're saying that this is like international mail because that's where his friend and his family lives too. It's a little Christmas card. That's cute. That's really sweet. I literally have such good handwriting. I thought that was written in the card. Yeah. I thought that was like just a card. It says, "Dear Manny and Rose, wishing you both a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So excited to meet. So excited about your amazing news. Can't wait to meet Awuku." I think that's 3, right? That's Roman numeral 3, right? I think it is. I used to know Roman numerals good. Missing you as always. Love, the Woods. Really sweet. That's what I mean about the really nice people, because it's not cheap to like send anything, and even letters internationally, so it's obviously a lot more than it would be if you're just sending it down the road. So that's really thoughtful to send a Christmas card to somebody out of the country. Okay, so Manny just grinded up some coffee. We have a setting on our coffee grinder that is for drip coffee, so that's what we did. So since our kettle is still in the mail on the way, we're gonna put the hot water, the boiling water in here, just to be able to pour it in there because we don't have our kettle yet.
Let it sit for a little bit. Smell that aroma come down.
Oh yeah. I think you'll like this better than the last one.
Yeah. More mine.
Perfect, thank you. A little squishy.
Try this one, Black.
Should we?
Shit. It's better than the other one, but it's still disgusting.
I said in the other video, we don't drink black coffee. I don't put sugar in coffee. I do use like a little bit of either, depending on what I'm having, like syrup or maybe a little creamer or whatever I'm doing that day. A lot of the time we use syrup. We don't have any creamer right now. Like milk and syrup, whatever. I don't put a ton. I like to really taste the coffee. But Manny, in the last video,
I don't think I'll put as much sugar in this one.
You missed it in the last video. The last coffee was a bit stronger that we tried. And he was like dumping sugar. I was laughing so hard editing that video. I was cracking up because he was literally had the container of sugar with no spoon and was dumping it into the coffee. So
it's honestly not that bad.
And you've kept drinking it like this, so that's what's weird.
I wouldn't, but I could probably drink it like that.
It isn't bad, is it? That's kind of weird. Well, that's like when the grinder made us some, though. I didn't think it was bad. Some, they made pour over. It wasn't bad.
What? It was like...
I think they made pour over.
7-hour, 11-hour coffee. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it isn't bad. I mean, I don't just sit around drinking black coffee, but like Manny said, I could actually drink that one black. If it was like, I just really wanted coffee and I don't have anything else, I would drink that, which is saying something because usually I just wouldn't have it. Because it's just totally black. It's never done it for me. But anyway, I'm gonna grab a little bit of milk and put a little bit of syrup in mine. Some probably Irish cream. Just for a little bit of sweetener. And it's gonna be really good. I'm using this mug too. I showed this on Instagram, but my sister Janine got this for me a couple Christmases ago. And it has us on the back. I'm gonna show you here. It has, obviously it says big sis, middle sis, little sis. Or I think I said that in the opposite way. No, I didn't. It's just the opposite from the screen that I'm looking at. But anyway, it's like my sister Dina, my sister Janine, and me. And we have little jackets on. It's like the cartoon thing. And this is the coffee. This is the coffee that we used today. So yeah, the mug also says, I'm pretty sure we're more than sisters. We're like a really small gang.
Also, it's probably because it's medium roast. That might be dark.
Yeah, this is medium roast. We generally like medium roast. Talking like fancy. We usually drink medium roast, but this is the coffee they gave us with the date box. I don't even know what it is. I haven't looked it up or anything. So it probably most likely is dark roast. And that might be why it was a little bit stronger. Some dark roast is fine. It depends on the type of coffee. Like Starbucks dark roast is usually very strong. I don't mind the flavor of it actually, but it usually is really strong. But we typically go for like medium roast. This is really good. Manny didn't even need to put sugar in his, did you?
Nope.
Didn't put any sugar today, so we're making improvements.
Different roast.
Yeah, it's definitely like a different roast of coffee. It's not as strong, so that's why he wasn't needing to put sugar in it. Okay, so we ran to Walmart real quick. We're gonna go in here and get a few things. We need like some milk and stuff like that. And Walmart is like a major outing for us these days. This is like the only place that we get to go. So, which I'm honestly pretty fine with. I mean, we go to the church, but other than that.
I literally watched it. I was like,
You were laughing.
just putting stuff in the other car. And now she's walking towards me. She's looking.
I know, I can't. That was hilarious. I didn't even realize at first what happened. I just saw her face. This girl, she's got her kid in the other car too. Yeah. This girl was just loading her car up. I'm trying to talk where she can see me. And loaded her stuff in her car and then tried to get...
So she put her cart back.
Yeah, she put her cart back and then tried to get in the car next to her car. She has her kid in her car and everything. And then Manny saw her and kind of laughed, and she looked over here and laughed because she knew that we saw her. That was so awkward. Yes, I'm gonna wear it over my nose. There is no point wearing your mask if you don't put it over your nose. Like this, right over the nose. Just wear it normal. Okay, now we got our new kettle, and it is dripping in there today. So I'm still learning about drip and pour over and all of that, but it is just dripping, which looks really good. Okay, it's Saturday morning. Woke up with a headache this morning, and I need to wash my hair and take a shower. I think my neck is really tight is why I have a headache. That's what it feels like a tension headache. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this so I can edit it. Thank you for watching. Remember, you are incredible. Jesus loves you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.